Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? Okay, looks like we are live. The other day when I went live, let me pull up my phone here. The other day when I went live, it glitched. It like the page refreshed or something, and then it said, you are live. We'll give just a couple of minutes because I'm not getting a notification on my phone. Let's see. Okay, it says that we're live, so I'm just going to go with it. All right, I want to try and keep this to 30 minutes today. And wow, what a topic. Today we're going to talk about how to find balance during stressful times. And that isn't always an easy thing to do, right? Because when we're under a lot of stress, we oftentimes our old brain kicks in, our fight or flight response kicks in, and so our body is in this state of, it goes into like survival mode. And I can use the example as, let's say you're walking through the woods and you come across a bear, right? So your body, what are you going to do? You're either going to fight that bear or you're going to run and try and save your life. So your body goes in this mode of survival. So many physiological things happen within your body. Digestion slows, your heart rate increases, you get this like burst of adrenaline. You're not sleeping, right? You're not going to lay down and take a nap, and your body's not too worried about digesting food, and your pupils can dilate, and all of these other things that can help you to actually escape the dangerous situation that you're in. And what happens when when we are just living in the stressful situations for any lengthy periods of time, is our body can begin to get a little tired, and it goes into more of a catabolic state, which is a breaking down. Now, I'm not saying that our body begins to break down, but what I'm saying is that chronic stress or going through stressful times for a long period has an effect on our physical body. It has an effect on our emotional body. It affects us all around, right? Because we're mind, body, spirit, right? I believe that we are spirit beings. We live in a body and we have a mind, which is your mind, will, and emotions, right? We've given one body. So if our body, something goes wrong there, then where are we going to live, right? I know you've heard that before. But so there are like automatic physiological responses that happen when we begin to go through stressful times or a traumatic situation. Now, trauma, if you followed me for any length of time, you know that trauma doesn't necessarily have to be like a major event. Our body as individuals, it determines what is traumatic for us. So what my body considers trauma for me may not be the same for you, and vice versa, because we're all created uniquely. We're all unique individuals. And I'm actually a little concerned that I'm not live. Let me see. Oh, I am live. Okay, cool. All right, that's weird. It didn't notify me. I apologize for that. Okay. So, I just lost my little train of thought here. So anyway, our bodies, right, our old brain has a memory. Our body has a memory. And if you've had past trauma or been through other past stressful situations, then that memory can be stored in your physical body, and it can also be stored right in your brain, in your memory. Okay? So when a new situation comes along, then those old thought patterns and those old responses, those old feelings, the memories come alive because you're back in, right? It remembers, it goes, oh, wow, I've been here before, and this is what got me through. So then you can begin to respond the same way, okay? Now, what happens in your old brain is it's like an automatic thing, okay? It's going to automatically go there. And so you might not even realize that you have these thoughts, these old tapes playing in the back of your head, right? But suddenly you're feeling stressed out, or you're having various, we call them symptoms to the stress. Like maybe you're more tired, or you're not sleeping well, you can't focus, you have that brain fog. Maybe you even have more aches and pains in your body, headaches. Maybe you're have like food cravings are like just kind of coming out of nowhere, and thought patterns, like things that you thought you can't seem to get out of your head, or maybe just this overwhelming sense of fear. There are so many different ways that we can respond to stress. So today I want to talk about just a couple of ways that a couple things we can do to eliminate areas of stress. Okay, and one of the first things that I want to talk about is retraining, renewing our mind, taking control of our thought life. Okay, now how do we do that? We're bombarded with we right social media. We're on social media, various platforms. We watch TV. We have relationships with people. We have work relationships. We have family relationships. We listen to music. We go out to eat to restaurants, or we go shopping. So there's potential for stress in all of these areas. And what happens is these things get in there, right? You know that you get a song stuck in your head and it just plays around and around. That's a good example. Or you start to think about a movie that you watched or a different scene, and you have a response in your physical body to that. Okay, now there's spiritual responses as well that can happen, but really we have got to take control of our thoughts, and in order to do that, we have got to take control of what we allow our eyes to see, our ears to hear, right? And our body to feel. Okay, so social media, set time blocks, or unfollow certain people if you need to, or certain pages. That we need to learn to listen to how our body feels when we are reading what certain people post, or listening to certain types of music, or watching certain things on TV. And we need to be brave enough and be strong enough to eliminate those, because the other thing that can happen is we have a comfort zone. Okay, we all have a comfort zone. Now, our comfort zone isn't necessarily a healthy, safe place for us. Now, our old brain and our old body might tell us different, right? It might say, oh, I feel so much peace when I'm have the news going on all day. Not necessarily true. Why? Because maybe there was a time in your past that you had the news on and your body is just going back to a familiar place. Anything that is familiar to us is going to be considered a comfort to us, a comfort zone. Now, that's not always 100% true. Now, if it was something disastrous or horrible that happened to us, then of course our body isn't going to be comfortable with that. Um, but what I'm saying is that we also have to have some discernment. We have to have apply some common sense. Okay, um, negative stuff, allowing that to enter into our brains, like listening to that, watching that, negative, fear-based stuff is not healthy. That is not healthy at all. And that is creating this sort of like stress, right? It's creating more fear and stuff. So get informed and get out. That's right. And watch positive things on TV. I know for me, I like to veg out in front of the TV. If I've been working this week, I had a day where it was just, I had tech issues all day and I was just so fried, and all I wanted to do was just check out in front of the TV. Now, when I do that, I'm really not watching what is on there, but my subconscious, my body is still taking that in. I may not remember what, what is being said or anything like that, but it's still coming in, okay? So being very strategic in how much time we allow ourselves to be on social media, the people we're interacting with, what we're watching on TV, the music that we're listening to, it all plays a huge part. And it's something that we can very easily control and eliminate that area of stress in our lives. Now that is going to affect us mind, body, and spirit, all three of those things. And then for those of you that just went through the 3-day challenge to help break free from overwhelm, we talked about taking those thoughts and creating new thoughts that can become old thoughts at some point, okay? So retraining the brain, renewing the mind, rewiring the brain, whatever you want to call it. So let's talk for a couple of minutes about body and stress and how we can find balance there, okay? There's a whole lot that comes into play with our physical body, but again, since we are holistic with a WHOLE, whole, mind, body, and spirit, everything is connected. So what we put in our brain connects our, affects our physical body and vice versa, right? The same with our spirit. It all has an effect. And we are all designed with certain aspects, like we all are designed with an innate ability to heal ourselves, right? For our bodies to heal. And that's called our immune system. It's an amazing, miraculous system within us that is designed to always be in homeostasis, balance, and health. Now, an example of that is, let's say we get a splinter in our finger, right? And that splinter goes in, it's a pretty decent sized splinter, and it's there for a couple of days. And what happens? You'll start to notice there's like red, there's inflammation, and it'll continue, and maybe there might get some of that icky white stuff around there. But what is happening? Your body is automatically responding to that foreign object in it and working to get it out, right? It's working to protect your finger from anything bad that might be on that splinter or any bad effect from it, and it's working to eliminate it, okay? And then you can, I don't know, it can be kind of gross and ugly, but you squeeze it and it comes out, and then your body, it begins to heal, you get a scab, and then it goes away. Okay, so that's just a little example that I like to use with my clients. And yeah, we clean it. We might put a Band-Aid, depending on what it is. But your body is very capable of taking care of it if your body is in a state of ease, if it's healthy, right? And you're not in this chronic stress consistently. Okay, stress is like the number one cause of dis-ease, and the majority of our health related problems, whether that's anxiety, physical problems, chronic pain, a lot of that can all be traced back to stress. And we can all agree that life has been stressful on various levels. So our body, let's talk a little bit about diet. Everything that you put in your body and that you put on your body is going to affect you in one of two ways. It's going to either build health and have a positive effect and help to bring balance to your body, mind, and spirit, or it's going to have a negative effect. Okay? Catabolic or anabolic, right? So when we're stressed out, I know when I'm stressed out, I just want like comfort food. I'm more of like a salty person rather than a sweet person. And I just want to kind of eat junk food, right? So during stressful times, again, it's about retraining. It's about setting boundaries with ourself primarily, right? We hear about setting healthy boundaries with other people, but ultimately it's about setting healthy boundaries with ourself first and then the outside, right? A lot of times we do that for ourselves, and then the outside kind of takes care of itself, so to speak. So doing our best to eat good, nutritious food, okay? Sleep, rest. A lot of times when you're stressed out, we can over-caffeinate or we can overindulge in alcohol. Other things, we can self-medicate on various levels, food, and all of that can lead to sleeplessness, restlessness, okay? Our thoughts. And sleep is so important, and being at rest in general is so important. So getting 7 to 10 hours of sleep at night. Yes, I said 10 hours of sleep because for women especially, we need more sleep than men. But during stressful times, sometimes our body requires that. So nothing less than 7 hours. 8 hours is good, but if you sleep a little bit longer, that's fine too, okay? Exercise. Now, I'm not talking about over exercising and spending 2 hours in the gym, because that can cause stress too, okay? Sometimes that is a comfort zone that we can go to. I'm talking about, just getting out and going for a walk. Walking is great. Getting outside and into nature is really good. We get the vitamin D. It stimulates like all different kinds of feel-good chemicals within our body that we need. We need that to combat stress, and that eliminates stress, because when we're thinking and feeling good, we're not going to give in to things that are going to create additional stress in our lives. We're going to want to eat healthier. We're going to want to watch like happy, TV or, happy posts on social media. We're going to want to be around positive, happy people, not people that are, grumbling and complaining and, talking about everything wrong and who's dying. All of that is not good. Now, there's a place to be informed. Yes. Okay. Get the information and get out. Okay. And even set boundaries with how much information and where you're going to get that from. Okay. But that's up to you. Let's talk a little bit about supplementation. We need nourishment. Our bodies require certain vitamins, minerals, a lot of that, right? They just need that. We don't always get that from our food, especially if we are eating a lot of junk food, so to speak. I mean, of course, eliminating fast food altogether and food with chemicals, that's, you know, terribly important. But supplementation, especially during stressful times, because our immune system can get torn down during that stress. So just making sure that you're maintaining proper levels of vitamins and minerals, and even drinking enough healthy mineralized water that has like electrolytes and stuff in it. Okay, you can be drinking a ton of water all day and still not be hydrated. Why? Because sometimes we have to over filter our water to get the bad stuff out, but we're not putting the good stuff in. So if you feel like you're drinking a ton of water all day, but you're still not hydrated, or you're still just feeling, you know, like crap, kind of, a lot of times it's because you're not hydrated. So there are things that you can add to your water that can help you. And a lot of times that is our biggest problem, is that we are dehydrated. Okay. For women, especially during times of chronic stress, B vitamins can get very depleted, and that's energy, that's focus, that's hormones. That is tied to so many different things in our body, which affects our mind, right? And then again, everything can affect our spirit, because we're not tending to our spirit life. We're not feeding our spirit if we feel like crap and we're stressed out. I mean, let's just face it, we're not going to. So that brings me into, I'm watching the clock. I've got 5 minutes. We'll probably go a couple of minutes over, because I probably spent the first 5 minutes wondering if I was actually live on here. Let's talk about spiritual health. Meditation. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, I'm not going to focus on any of that, because that's not the issue. The issue is that we have a spirit, and part of bringing balance in stressful situations is nourishing body, mind, spirit. Okay? So our spirit, meditation. Okay, spending some time every day and meditating on something good, whether it's a scripture, whether it's a quote, maybe it's your intentional affirmation, or your declaration, or your intentional thought. There's various names for it, but something that you're retraining your brain with, and meditating on that, and feeling your feelings. How are you feeling? And just really focusing in on yourself and taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit. Being very aware of who you are, being in the present, not thinking about anything else, but just becoming very aware, okay, what it is that you want to create, because our thoughts and our words create, okay? We are co-creators. We are creators. And so if we're constantly feeding our body, mind, and spirit with negativity and fear, then we are going to create opportunities for more of that to come into our life, right? Even, you know, I get it. Like, some people are, like, their entire lives have been turned upside down right now. And I have been there. There's been a period of time where I literally lost just about everything and was having health issues too. So I get it. I get the stress. I get the overwhelm. I get the trauma. I get all of that. And these things that we're quickly going through today can help you. You just have to set the boundary with yourself and actually apply them. Okay? So, prayer. If you're a praying person, pray. If you're a believing person, choose to believe. Choose to believe. Choose to believe the good. Okay? Choose to believe something good. Find something good to believe and make that conscious choice to believe. Okay? Soothing music. Like there is a lot of like high frequency music. Um, there's something called whole tones, and that's what I like to listen to. And that just really brings up the energy level. Um, and this, I'm not going to teach too much about energy, but everything has a frequency to it. Okay. And so that can kind of bring that up in your body. So meditating, prayer, soothing music, um, reading, reading scripture or affirmations, something of wisdom, something that can benefit and that is actually going to nourish your spirit, okay? Which in turn is going to nourish your body and nourish your mind, okay? So we've got 2 minutes. And let's talk about our environment. I want to talk a little bit about, we've covered music, TV, setting boundaries. I want to talk there for just a second, because if we can set boundaries and learn to set boundaries, then we can eliminate a good bit of stress in our lives. Now, setting boundaries is not always an easy thing to do, okay? Setting boundaries and making a choice. If you have toxic people in your life, setting a boundary, maybe taking a break from that relationship. If it's super toxic, you may need to just walk away from it, okay? Not thinking about the other person, because if that relationship and that other person is affecting you negatively, mind, body, and spirit, then there's something not right. It's an unhealthy relationship. So why would you become unhealthy to keep them healthy, or to allow them to continue to create imbalance, disease, stress, and negativity for you? Okay? So this is about us, and that's okay, right? This is about self-care. This is about taking care of us so that we can then take care of others when the time arises, okay? If we're a mess and we're stressed out and we're unable to function, we can't take care of anybody if we're not taking care of ourselves first. So, setting boundaries. Toxic people, people are just not themselves. Honestly, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and a lot of people have been through a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of fear, and that can bring out sometimes the worst in people. Now, nothing against anybody, but this is about bringing balance, right, in stressful times, and how we can live healthy, right, during those times. So, set boundaries, take a break, eliminate whatever you need to do. Setting a boundary with yourself. Okay, we talked about that. Toxic people in the workplace, set some boundaries. Okay, set some boundaries. On social media, hit the unfollow button, right? Or I think on Facebook you can snooze them for 30 days or something. Do that. Okay, it's so important because it's having an effect. Notice how you feel when you're around other people. Notice how you feel when you're watching certain things. Notice how you feel when you don't meditate or pray or take that time to feed your spirit. Notice how you feel after you eat a meal. Notice how you feel after you haven't had too much water. Learning your body, learning how to read and learn how your body responds, how your mind responds. Okay, it will tell you every step of the way what you should watch, what you shouldn't watch, who you should be around, who you shouldn't be around. Learning that. Okay, this is a great time to really get to know who you are. Okay, one way that our physical body alerts us to something that is not right is through symptoms. That's really what symptoms are. It's just telling us, hey, something's not right. You need to pay a little attention and figure out what's going on so that we can bring some balance, right? Okay. Um, Self-care. This time that we're in right now, it's so important to take care of ourselves, working on building our immune system to the best that we can, right? And today, this is really what a lot of this is about our immune system. It's about finding balance, okay? So self-care. And self-care isn't like just going and getting, your hair done or a massage. It is all of these things, everything I've been talking about today, okay? And in those relationships, if you're having to set a boundary, and if those people don't understand that you need to take a break, or you need to step back, or you need to spend more time with yourselves, then guess what? They're really not your friend anyway, okay? And that's going to be okay, all right? The right people will come into your life. So stress, we're just about 35 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up here real quick. Remaining unbalanced in stressful situations, it creates overwhelm, anxiety, dis-ease, insomnia. It lowers your immune system. It does so many negative things, and before you know it, it's like that avalanche just occurs. That snowball is just going down and picking up more stuff with it along the way, and so more symptoms and more things begin to occur. So I hope this has helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I also have opened up some more coaching spots. So if you are in a place that you would like help with this, let me know. You can book a free 15-minute call with me, and we'll chat for 15 minutes. I'll help you as best as I can in that time. And then we can also see if you want to extend that, and we can work together, and we can really get you living your life the way that you want to, and loving your life and being healthy and happy, because that's what life is about. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I really love you guys, and I really appreciate, I'm so honored to share in this journey, and we're in this together. Some of us are going through more things than others, but we're all here, we're all in it together. And this group and anything to do with working with me it's nothing but love. There's no judgment, and I just want to help other people. I have been through so much trauma and so much loss, and having to rebuild my health several times and rebuild my life, whether it was business or pretty much just about every area in life. I have had to completely start over from scratch, and it was due to something traumatic. So I can really bring that to the table and help you. So if that's you and you need some help, I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. So book that call, because there's only so much of me. I only have so much time, and I'm willing to help. So I love you. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.